Welcome back. We're going to continue that story I was talking to you about in just a second. But first, I want to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who did Cleveland acquire as the player to be named later in the trade that sent CC Sabathia to the Milwaukee Brewers? And if you said Michael Brantley, you are correct. The list of choices for the player to be named later was narrowed down to Brantley and Taylor Green. The Indians and Brewers agent agreed that if the Brewers reached the 2008 Major League Baseball postseason, the Indians could make the choice since the Brewers made the playoffs. The Indians got to choose, and they chose Brantley. Matt Laporta, Zach Jackson, and Rob Bryson were all acquired in the initial transaction. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. The Sacramento move up to the fourth led the Pistons to fall falling. Detroit, which finished with the league's third worst record, will select fifth. At various points throughout the turnaround season, it seemed the Cavs would not particularly pate in the lottery at all. Prior to the February trade deadline, they packaged their 2022 lottery protected first rounder, multiple seconds, and injured veteran backup Ricky Rubio and enigmatic swingman Caris LeVert after winning just 22 games last season and 19 each in the 2 years before Cleveland was in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff race. Until the final days, a late season collapse kept them out once again and ensured another lottery trip. The Cavs went 44-38 this past season. Based on the NBA rules, and the Cavs must make their pick on draft night. However, they could trade the players' rights if they are looking for a more seasoned piece to push the rebuild forward. And taking a step back and looking at the draft, I like the draft. I really do. President of Basketball Operations, Kobe Altman explained during his end-of-season press conference, there's nothing wrong with having another young player that you can develop. A lot of them I've seen as well. They were going to be right in the mix for. So I don't want to say let's trade the pick and get somebody else. I think there's a nice niche here for a young prospect to really grow without a ton of expectation and grow into potentially a rotational player who can help down the road. And I like this draft a lot. In hopes of getting a more lottery luck following a franchise-changing move into their number 3 spot last year, when they selected phenomenon Evan Mobley, the Cavs sent franchise legend and fan favorite Anderson Varejao to Chicago as a team ambassador Tuesday night, which was a few weeks back. The team executive John Nichols was in the lottery drawing room, and Evan Mobley was named to the NBA's first All-Star rookie team. So congratulations to that on Evan Mobley. I hope he does well. And the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics will have their Game 7 tomorrow night in South Beach, and that will determine who will play the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. So, because the Mavs won Game 5, but were not able to win Game 6, as the Warriors beat them 119 to 110 to 101, excuse me, and they solidified their spot in the NBA Finals, excuse me. And the Browns have re-signed defensive end Jadeveon Clowney, who has agreed and he agreed to re-sign with the Cleveland Browns on a one-year contract worth a maximum of $11 million after enjoying one of his best seasons, of his career with the franchise. Sources confirmed to ESPN. Clowney finished with 9 sacks and 2 forced fumbles for the Browns last season, while playing opposite All-Pro pass rusher Myles Garrett, who, like Clowney, also was a number 1 overall draft pick. Clowney's agreement to re-sign with the Browns was first reported by Cleveland.com. Clowney, 29, signed with the Browns last April on a one-year deal worth $10 million, which included a $750,000 bonus and sack bonuses. Excuse me. Before last season, he had battled injuries throughout his career. Clowney struggled in 2020 with the Tennessee Titans, finishing without a sack in 8 games before suffering a season-ending knee injury that required surgery this past season. However, Clowney largely stayed healthy, playing 14 games. He finished strong, getting 2 sacks and a forced fumble. A forced fumble in Cleveland's regular season finale. Afterward, Clowney expressed interest in returning to Cleveland, but added that he wanted to capitalize financially off the banker year. You play at a high level, you get paid. And the Houston Texans made Clowney the number 1 overall pick in 2014 at a 3-time Pro Bowl selection, and he has had 41 sacks in 8 seasons. The Browns also re-signed David Njoku to a $56.75 million contract with $28 million in bonuses, guaranteed bonuses, that is. And I think this was a good move, and the Browns were wanting to re-sign him, and I think with having traded Jarvis Landry to the New Orleans Saints, and I feel that was a good move as well. And we're talking about Mayfield and the Browns like they're playing this Sunday, but if Mayfield can't find a new home, it possibly could be with Seattle. You never know. I'm going to keep you updated on that. The Guardians got rained out last night, but today they snapped their losing skid and won 8-1 over the Detroit Tigers today. And they have one more game tomorrow at 1:40 with them to take hopefully 2 out of 3 because the Friday one got rained out. Shane Bieber was on the mound today, went 8 innings, gave up 8 hits, 1 earned run, no beans at bat, and struck out 5 batters. And in the 9th, Emmanuel Clase came on and gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, had 1 bean at bat, and struck out 2 batters. The Tribe had 2 runs in the 4th, and scored 4 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th. Miles Straw scored 2 runs. He scored 2 of those. I think one of them was a home run, I do believe. Jose Ramirez scored 3 runs. I think he one of his was a home run. Steve Kwan scored one of them, and Rondo Richie Pelicio he scored one of the runs as well. And I believe that's what it was. I believe, yeah, and yeah, and so yeah, this was the Tribe had a phenomenal game today, and hopefully they can take 2 out of 3 tomorrow. And right now they're still in 3rd place in the AL Central. They are 19 and 23 right now. So hopefully June will be a better month for them. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. And so I'll be back with another podcast, hopefully later this next week. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.